Um, yeah, as we said, the topic of today is going to be how we're improving genetics and make our business more profitable, which is our aim because all businesses are done for economic results. Firstly, I will introduce choice genetics, which belongs to a bigger group called Grimaud. Improving genetics. Why do we need to improve genetics? Because choice approaches the subject of production by the fact that we believe that the piglet must be weaned by the biological mother. It's basic. When the piglet is weaned by the biological mother, it means that it had the opportunity to have access to colostrum, which was produced by the biological mother, which gives a shield, a kind of immunity shield to the piglet from the first 72 hours. At Choice, we believe that for the sow to be able to wean her own piglet, she must have what it takes, which means we produce sows with at least 16 functional teeth. 16 functional teeth. So that all the piglets born will have access to colostrum. They will all have access to colostrum, which is basic because the survivability of the piglets is vital for their life and of course for the farmers. Milk production, apart from the colostrum availability, the sow must have enough milk to sustain, feed piglets. So at the end of all this, we have uniformity in our litter. We have an average litter weight, and we have a considerable number of piglets born alive. All these together is what we say, this is how we approach piglet production and obviously pig production. So, in continuation of what I said earlier, we invest much in the number of teeth available because it doesn't make any sense to have 18 piglets when you have only 14 teeth. So we made it possible, and this is one of our basic selection criteria, that we select for 16 minimum functional teeth per gilt that we provide for farmers. So, part of the reproduction criteria is that the piglets born alive increase. As I said earlier, we look at it that, okay, for you to have a profitable business, you must have as much piglets born alive as possible. So our gilts must be hyper prolific. Today, I can say that our average born alive piglet number is between 15.5 piglets born alive. Now, the sow needs to be able to wean lots of piglets. So that is why we said we select for 16 functional teeth. Most of our sows you find 18, but for sure 16 are functional. So at the end of the day, the piglets are weaned heavy. So when the piglets are weaned heavy and you are having a piglet of 28 days, 25 days, 4 weeks, I will say, and they are having a minimum of 7.5, 8 kilos. live weight, then those piglets, if they don't have any health issue, will continue further down. And of course, our gills come into heat very, very fast and strong, because we have, of course, we have some production guidelines that we offer our clients, our co-farmers. Okay, so that if they follow these guidelines, coming into heat and maintenance of our sows is realized. So at the end of the day, we believe in a full value pig. A full value pig for us means that the feed conversion ratio, it's respected. Growth, robustness and resilience, meat quality, back fat, and muscle depth. All these criteria makes our parameters that are supposed to be present in the pig that you commercialize. The feed conversion is very, very important and vital. Why? Because we all know that, and it's evident that 70% of your cost is nutrition. Minimum of 70% is nutrition. So your feed must be of quality, and you must be feeding. And what we bring to the table is the possibility, the genetic potential to convert as little feed as much as possible to much more meat. All right? This is what we offer farmers. So at the end of the day, we are talking about 120 kilos. Let's see recent figures, in as early as, depending on the breed, as early as 150 days, 155 days from birth. Products. How do we get all these things? Of course, all these criteria, all these characteristics, we brought them and we embedded them in different products that we offer farmers. Basically, we use the Landras M6 line, which is a pure line, combined with the M3 large white line. Now, I would like to underline something here, because I usually hear pure line this, pure line that, pure line this, pure line that. If you are a breeder, a certified breeder, okay, underline that as well, you should be having Landras and large white, okay? And basically, I prefer the large white as a sow. Then you cross with a Landras. Wow. When you cross, then you have a product called F1. Okay? So as you will see here, of course we'll talk about this later on. You will see here that the M3 large white has some characteristics that is evidently unique to them. The M3 is a docile animal. The M3 is easy to manage. The M3 is a maternal line. She has this characteristic. All right? On the other hand, we have the M6 Landras, okay, which is very well known for its prolificacy. She is very prolific. She has a XXL in milk production. She really has the possibility to give milk. All right? And then she brings stability to the table. So the product of both of these we'll see later on, but I would like to go into discussing each one separately because it is very, very important, and it will be vital that we all understand what we're talking here. Now, the large white, I said, is docile. She has the maternal qualities, and she's very, very easy to manage. The large white will eat, even if it's 35 degrees centigrade. She will always eat, which is good. These are pictures of large white M3 gills. The Landras, as I said earlier, with all the characteristics. These are Landras M6 gills. You see the ears of the Landras characteristics. Now, the combination of these two lines gives us the F1 I was talking about earlier, which is the CG36. The CG36, being a product of both, gives us the progeny. She comes with the maternal instinct, all right? And she gives, statistically, she gives you 80 weaned piglets in a lifetime, on an average. 80 weaned piglets on an average in a lifetime. Because she came from parents of both 16 and more teats, she also has 16 teats on the average, guaranteed. All right? Because she has in the lineage the hem3, sow mortality is very low. Because she eats, she consumes. So when we give her the good food, the balanced diet, we don't have issues. Okay? Now, I will take us back to what I underlined earlier. Because I usually hear pure breed this, pure breed that. Okay? When you buy a pure breed, I will not even go into identifying if it's pure breed or not. Okay? You are buying this. Yeah, this one. So when you're buying a pure breed large white, you're buying that. When you're buying a pure breed landrace, you're buying that. Okay? So if you cross this with a terminal bull, a Duroc, or whatever, she will perform her duties. She will be docile. She will give the ease of management. She will give the maternal quality, but then she can never be an XXL. Am I making sense here? She can never be an XXL milk producer, nor can she give you the hyperprolificacy that that lady there will give you, nor the stability. Am I being understood? Am I making sense? So that is why it is good to buy certified gilts. All right? Usually, when we give out the gilts, we give you a pedigree. A pedigree certifying the quality of the gilts you have bought. All right? It shows everything, the life statistics of the mother, the father, and what to expect. And you know what to expect from her. So, coming back to the CG36, which is the main product here. The CG36 is the main product because it's what we use to cross when we want to produce fattening piglets. We cross the CG36 with all these characteristics with either a P26 boar. A P26 boar is a Duroc type boar. They produce vigorous piglets because of the masculine trait, the trait, the hereditary. Fast growth, the Duroc can really grow. Very good feature efficiency and superior meat quality. Superior meat quality that the Duroc gives you is the ability to have the intramuscular fat, which is very, very tasty when you do barbecues. All right? Next on the list is the P81. I like this boar. The P81 is a Pietren-like boar. Yeah, of course, it has an exceptional average daily gain, not like the Duroc. It has very, very good, better feed efficiency than the Duroc. Vigorous piglets also. Extremely calm offspring. Okay, and very fit because they are very calm. They can fit into dense environment because they are very calm. The difference between both the P81 and the P26 is that the P81 will give you carcass. You will be getting a minimum of 62% of meat. So if you have a butchery, you should go for this guy. Because you will be getting your value for money. All right? But if you are selling live piglets, you will do the job. They go fast. All right? So we have also the P90, which is something in between both breeds. It's an hybrid boar that comes with exceptional efficiency. Vigorous piglets also. Good enough carcass quality. It will give you a 60%. All right? Clean meat. Yes. To buttress what I said earlier, because I've seen lots of images, lots of videos online, I think we all see it. This is how the pyramid works. It can only come down. You see the slaughter pigs. A slaughter pig cannot be crossed with a P90. For example, when it comes here, it's gone. It goes to the abattoir. So this is for people who are buying winners. Who are buying winners and crossing with something to get I don't know what. That is why you feed animals for 360 days and you can't boast of 70 kilos. If I'm wrong, please someone should tell me. All right? So that's why when we are at slaughter, there are slaughter pigs, you cannot cross with a parent a P90, because when you cross with a P90, 81 or a P26, it's something else entirely that you get, because she is not a parent herd. She is for the abattoir. He is for the abattoir. Whatever you get in this red zone, they are slaughter pigs, and that's the only thing they can ever be. Now, the parent herd can never go back to be a nucleus herd. Never. So if you take a parent herd and cross with M3, you are doing genetic vandalism, because you are getting something entirely different. because you already lose the progeny that you had when the normal breeder will breed the M3 and the M6 together. Am I making sense, please? Because it doesn't make sense if I am not making. All right? So, this is the only way that it can work. We cross the M3 with the M6, whichever way around, it doesn't matter. What matters is that we have the progeny from both breeds in the parent herd. Then on the parent herd, we can now choose depending on our market. We might have a butchery, we might not have a butchery. It doesn't really matter. Okay? We now choose from any of these boars there to combine and cross with the parent herd to fix a slaughter pig that is convenient for our market, that we can easily sell, and money back guarantee, a return in investment. How does choice add value to your production? We see here examples in Paraguay. I deliberately bought this because people ask me, but yeah, they're in Europe, it's this, it's that, it's that, it's that. No. Our piglets adapt. Paraguay, it has the same temperature values that in Nigeria and also humidity. Okay? Mind you, I also work in Greece. Greece in the summer can have temperatures as much as 45 degrees Celsius. And you have farmers there and they're doing very well. The way the animals are kept, although is different. Like, for example, we feed in the night when it's hot. We feed in the night. You said the other day, yeah, we feed in the night. Anything after 6, they eat. During the day, nobody eats. Even you, a human, you will not eat. All right? And we still have these numbers. All right? So, automatically, in LATAM, in Latin America, the number one farm is a choice farm. And this guy is winning 34.7 piglets per sow per year. Do we understand what I said? He's winning 34.73 piglets per each sow he has on the farm per year. And he's keeping 3,000 sows. Yeah. And he's keeping 3,000 sows. So you can understand that, and the essence is to show us that it's possible. Only that we need to have the correct equipment, all right, to do this job. I have to go faster. These are his figures as for 2019. The same farm. He's winning on the average 13.4. 13.6, 13.65 per sow on the average on his farm. From live born of 14. Okay, it's possible. We could get those details from that man because he's keeping records. How many of us keep records? How many of us keep records? At least an exercise book. Good. So at a point in time, we should be able to accumulate all this data to see whether, to check whether and how well we are doing. All right? Records can be kept using a common exercise book. Some people use Excel files. All right? And there are specialized softwares also. Okay? expensive, cheap. There are possibilities in the market. This is an example of a software. All right? It gives you a whole breakdown of what you are doing. When a consultant like myself will see something like this, I already have a picture of what is happening in the farm. I know where to go. Direct. Am I making sense? Now, I did a small, I tried to do something, so that we understand the real value behind genetics. I think it is well established that a sow will eat 1,200 kilos per year. Okay, we all agree, right? One sow will eat 1.2 ton in a year. If it's 1.150, if it's 1.210, it doesn't make sense. Let's just take it for 1.2. All right? Then I multiplied and gave a value for the feed. I gave a value for the medication and the artificial insemination in case you are buying semen. So at the end of the day, you have a total input of 336,000 naira. Okay? But on the other hand, you are producing 27. I didn't use 34. Like the Paraguayan guy. Okay? I used 27. 27 piglets that are weaned by the sow. Right? And each one is sold at 30,000 naira. All right? That is how much you are making. And that is the percentual relative gain. Any objection here? Now, this is when you do use bad genetics. Unfortunately, the cost remains same. But then you are winning 18 piglets. How many people are winning more or less than 18 here? Please. Per sow per year. You are winning 18 piglets per sow per year. How many? More than that? Less than that? I would like someone to answer me. How many are we winning on the average? Hello? You said? In a year per sow, each sow on the average, you are winning less than 30. Huh? Less than 18? I cannot make.
Someone wants to talk.
No, I was saying, I don't know whether it's because of the, what is that, the swine flu or what. I'm still going to have the experience this
year. Okay, but you are winning more than 18 or less, right?
Less.
Less than 18?
Yes.
Okay. This is your picture. Whatever may be the problem, okay? This is an image. That's the essence. We can discuss the other issues later. Okay? I just want a picture. So I want to show that this is as real as possible. All right? So if you are winning 18 piglets per sow per year, this is what you are making. If you are selling it with 15,000 naira, all right? And for sure you are losing. It's a loss. That's the reproduction part of it. Now, this is the fattening part of it. 5 minutes, I'm gone. This is the fattening part of it. So, that man that had good genetics was selling good genetics to a farm, and he was selling it at 36,000 naira per piglet. All right? This is a fattening model. He got it that he was able to trick somebody, he was able to, get somebody that is buying it at 6,000. So that person bought it at 6,000 naira and is feeding the piglets from 16 kilos to 30 kilos at a cost per kilo of 200 naira. Between 30 and 60, 160 naira. At a range of 60 to 100 kilos. Yes, 100 kilos. Because those piglets will give you 100 kilos. 120 naira. So at the end of the day, it has a total combined feed cost of 35,600 naira. Am I being understood? So it comes to an average of 142 naira per kilogram. Right? Remember this. Let's go to the next slide. Now, this man is, of course, slaughtering at 120 kilo because the piglets have the genetic potential. All right? The piglets have genetic potential, and by the time he will buy those piglets at 20, 25 kilos, he will fatten them. The total fattening period of each of these pigs is 90 days to get to an average of 110 kilos live weight. Okay? Which means, like in the poultry, our poultry friends, they know this very well. You can do 3 sets in a year. Am I wrong? This is how we do in broilers. We count in days. So it's the same thing here. So we can fatten good genetics in 90 days. Then you can go 3 rounds in a year. And that's what you're making. 14 million. If you are fattening 100 piglets. Buying 100 piglets and fattening them at this rate, you are making that in a year. Am I clear? On the other hand, however, this farm A is with his better genetics, F2 piglets, which is a product of F1 and a terminal ball, as we said earlier. More expensive cost for piglets, of course, because the piglets have value. More expensive feed and quality premix fed ad libitum. More batches produced per year. Better farming environment, investment, and selling at 120 kilos. Let's come to the reality. Unfortunately, reality in West Africa. I see we people buy piglets on Facebook with 15 naira, 15,000 naira. Am I wrong? 10,000 naira. We bargain it, right? We bring it to our farm. All right? We try and we buy blood meal, we buy shaft, we buy a PKC, we mix it together. We are able to get a feed at 120 naira for the first stage. 126, sorry. For the second stage, even cheaper than the previous one. 116. Then at the end of the finisher feed, we were able to go 112. It can be cheaper than that. But of course, you are feeding more, 40 kilos. So at the end of the day, these piglets, because they are bad genetics, they are not, I won't even say bad genetics, they are products of inbreeding. Yes, and that's how it's called. They are products of inbreeding. They will be eating like a whole year. Am I wrong? 10 months, 11 months. And these pigs, they will be consuming like 380 kilos. Even though it's cheaper compared to the previous one. Per kilo, it's costing you 115 naira per kilo. It's cheaper. But the fact that you don't have the animals don't have the potential to grow. We go here. Here I made magomago. I will confess to you. Because I said we slaughter at 70 kilos. From what I know, the average slaughtering price weight is 65. Am I wrong? So, because when I use 65, it was minus. So, just to keep the plus, I use 70. All right? Compared to the previous file, you see you're making, if you bring in 100 piglets like this, you are making 295,000 naira in a whole year compared to 40 million. Okay? So, it all comes to money. Parameters of this farm: locally derived animals, unknown inbred pigs, cheaper feed, even if you give them ad libitum, cheap feed cost, selling at a maximum of 70 kilos, maximum weight, gainable. They can't do more than that. They can't do more than 65 kilos. All right? One batch only. You can only keep one batch of pigs. You cannot do, as we said earlier, like a poultry farm, to have 3 batches in a year. You can only do one because you have only 5, 10, 6 pen, right? So you will keep this one animal for one set of animal for a whole year, even under normal farming conditions. Now, I will go fast through this. These are figures from the 90s. I see people still using them on Facebook and things like that. I just want to make sure to point out that today, with the P90, you get as much as 115 kilos in 150 days. So that is what I want to bring out here is that there is genetic improvement. What was in the 90s is not anymore because we are improving. So if you want to assess improvement, you have to collaborate with the genetic company proper, not Facebook. Yeah, this is what I see around. These are farms that I see, piglets I see around, long nose, and they consume. Yeah, I saw this farm. And the owner told me that they are 6 months old. Yes, he is feeding these animals. They are 6 months old. I think the biggest one was around 30, and the smaller ones was around 15 kilos. Yes, and he's spending money here. These pigs are 120 days old. The picture was taken in England. Okay? Genetics. Next time I come with pictures from Uganda. I hope before then I will have pictures from Nigeria market. Now, as a genetic company, COVID taught us some lessons during 2020 and 2021. Because we travel around the world, we try to reach our clients, to reach our collaborators, and to help them. But because of COVID restrictions, we couldn't travel anymore. So we invented a campaign called With You, which will remain. With You comes from the word with you. We have a platform on our website. You can take pictures of this, and you can log on. You will find on our website lots of tutorials, lots of write-ups that are related with farm practices, and on the same platform, in case you have any problems, you will be connected with a specialist, vets, genetic advisors or nutritionists, whatever you want. Okay? Please log on. Feel free to log on and make use of what we have made available there. Thank you very much for having me. And I'll be ready to take your questions later on.